historic, like Keats Sterling Piano Bar. That started life as Paget's Carriage Shop back in the 1870s, where you could get a block of ice, a carriage, even a hearse, if you so needed. We've also got Cheers Sports Bar over here on the right-hand side. So yeah, they play A&M, and we'll talk about that a little bit here. But yeah, unfortunately for A&M, we did win the first game back after 12 years. Now guys, on the right-hand side is the Comedy Mothers even festivals. We have ACL Fest, which happens every September. We also have South by Southwest Fest, which will happen in March. We have places like Friends Bar over here, where you can also catch some rock and roll. Indigenous history in Austin. See, long before there were any settlers from Europe or Africa or Asia, there were indigenous people here in Austin. About 10,000 years ago on the ground. These are the original foundations of the first two Texas state capitol buildings. These buildings were much smaller than our current state street. We call it Guadalupe because in Austin we like to mispronounce things. And on our right-hand side is going to be the Herman Marion Sweat Travis County Courthouse after him. Also on our right-hand side, we have the Woolridge Square. This was originally a landfill until then Mayor Woolridge had it dug up. Do we have any Sandra Bullock fans on board? All right, we're going to have a few facts about her along the way today. Now, if you look up and to the left, you have to spot a building that the locals call the Jenga Tower. You guys see why we call it the Jenga Tower? Yeah, it's actually called the Independent. It's 58 stories tall, and when it was first finished, Alright guys, I got a question. Do you guys want a little splash or a big splash? Let's try that again. Do you guys want a little splash or a big splash? Alright, I think we got one more left in the computer. Let's give this young man a show. Alright guys, you ready? We need everyone to remain seated. Alright, going in. Full speed ahead. Woo! Alright. Welcome to Lake Austin. You are welcome to get up and walk around. If you want to test out the water, just grab the nearest child and dip them over the side. No? Okay. I'm going to put on a little Selena for you guys. She's a Corpus Christi native, popular Texas musician. While I'm doing that, if you would like any pictures of yourself or your family, I'm more than happy to take them for you. Whenever they give teachers $1 million pay raise, they're going to buy one of these houses over here. Some people say the houses on Lake Austin are so large and expensive, they are ostentatious. So, I'm just going to look out to the left. On top of this hill over here, there's a house on top with a curved black roof and white walls. You guys see the one I'm talking about? All right. So yeah, it looks like Iron Man. Now, actually, this house was designed by the architect to look like a certain aquatic animal. First question, yell it out if you know it. Which kind of aquatic animal is that supposed to resemble? Oh, you got it. All right. So stingray. First guess. Yeah. It's actually called a manta house. It's designed to look like a kind of stingray known as a manta ray, and you can see kind of like with its wings spread, going face forward with its mouth open, right? Now, this house was designed and built for $46 million, just outside of my budget personally, but this house, how many bedrooms? Second question, how many bedrooms do you think are in this $46 million house? Somebody said 3? 30? Okay, you're a little high. 25. Still a little, what I would presume are fairly expensive cars. Guys, on the right-hand side is a good example of why most Central Texas homes do not have basements. Any other part of the country you go to, you will normally find a basement in a house, but here in Central Texas, it's almost unheard of to have a basement. That's because at any given point, you're sitting on top of about 40 to 50 feet of limestone bedrock. So it's really hard to drill through, but it is porous, so it allows for the growth of plants out of it. So we've got trees like oak, maple, pecan, also cedar, which is unfortunate for those of us. Most likely Joe Rogan, who lives about 20 miles that way. He's a famous podcaster, comedian, and UFC announcer. We also have one half the famous singing sounds assignments at his house. Also, we've got the actress Kirsten Dunst and her husband Jesse Plemons. They moved here during the pandemic as well. Alright guys, those of you who wear glasses know the struggle. Alright, so she moved here with her husband Jesse Plemons during the pandemic. And also, Elijah Wood, the famous head of, famous frontrunner for Lord of the Rings, lives just over this way, along with the famous redheaded actress Emma Stone, who moved over to this area. It's called Judges Hill, named after Judge Lawler, back in July. Keeps them floating about, I'd say about 1.5 above the water. Must be pretty good if it's out here on kind of a cold day. And we actually have a lake boat coming up here to our left-hand side. This here, oh yeah, cormorants. Oh yeah, so that house, this gentleman is asking about this house with the stone facade and the arches over it. This is the former house of Miss Sandra Bullock and her then husband, Jesse James. Now, they moved from this house, not because of a bat infestation, but rather because they got a divorce. So, Sandra moved down to Lake... something keeping up the water over there. But yeah, so Piranha, it's a fun B-movie romp, and it's about the government experiment with piranhas gone wrong. It came out right after Jaws, so it's kind of in that like era of like there's something scary in the water in that movies, right? Well, they were doing a scene right down this way, and they had a bit of a mishap on set. See, the director wanted to have a scene. Yes, you're right. Probably wish he would have died after that. Hey guys, if you notice all the flowery boats over there, that's part of the Mozart's kind of parade. Stay seated for a few moments. We're going to take a few very light bumps, but don't want anybody getting toppled over. Really nice at this time of the year because we basically just get in and out of water without having to wait for anybody. But during the summer, believe it or not, you will pretty much always have a little mini traffic jam right up there. People boat. He drives a Tesla car, not even one of the Cybertrucks, just the regular car. Drops his boat off in the water. Break it down. Gen Ed for everyone. Our first public high school, our first public school was a school called the Texas School for the Deaf, which is over on South Congress. We started in 1896. But if you look out to the right, you might be able to spot a trail where there are some people walking and jogging along it. We'll also walk had the trees planted. She also had the benches, trash cans, and restrooms put in along the trail. When she was done doing all that, the people of Austin said, that's basically what we did, because in 2007, when she passed away, Austin renamed Town Lake Lady Bird Johnson Lake. But if you ask a local Austinite, they'll tell you that it's still Town Lake. Just don't be confused when you look at Google Maps and it says that it's Lady Bird Johnson Lake instead of he's telling you it's not. Now to our left-hand side, we've got the Seahole Power Plant. This used to be a of Austin Town Hall. This building is designed to look like the state animal of Texas, the armadillo. If you look, the stairwell is supposed to be the head, there's a little aisle there. The arms are on the side, and the shell over the back has the dark brown part. A little tail around the back. On the right-hand side is a brick tower. That's the Buford Tower. This is where firefighters used to practice putting out fires on high rises. Apparently in the 30s, they would set the scene on fire, and they'd pay somebody to walk to the top of it and jump out and see if they could catch them. Quite the job detail, right? Hey guys, we're about to cross over Congress Street Bridge. Does anybody know what